we go. Tonight we got episode 20. And another ATL tonight. Got Miss Tiauna Paul, software engineer. And Tiauna, look at your watch. What time is it?
Right now, live on Rite Now Radio.
Rite Now Radio. Let's see, we got the South Hood catch up. We're gonna learn tonight about a lot of codes she's ready. She's a entrepreneur as well. Mobile app. We're gonna just kind of just tap in and see what's another great black woman on our history. First of all, tell us about how did you get started? You know, how did you actually start your career?
Actually, so I transitioned into tech from primarily working in account management for a while. So honestly, I had got furloughed from my job. I was looking for a career change, looking to do something a little bit more challenging. And a good friend of mine introduced me to coding. She was like, "You need to learn how to do this." And I remember looking at it and saying, "There's no way I'm gonna learn how to do this. It's crazy." But did my due diligence, did some research, and got connected with a boot camp here in Atlanta called Flatiron School.
Yep.
And
I heard of that. I heard of Flatiron School. Yep. They actually a site up in New York as well. They do some classes. Yeah.
I definitely support them. I learned a lot. They helped me learn to build a good foundation around full stack web development, which is what I'm certified in, and which is what I do now as an engineer.
And you know what? And now I found out, you know what? We kind of know some of the same people a little bit anyway. I found out that you have a background of being a flight attendant. Is that right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we don't.
Maybe. But no. Wrong Tiauna.
Yeah. She is though. But tell us though.
Yeah. Okay. I think I may know who you're talking about. We'll connect on that later.
Yeah. But what is your background before IT?
Yeah. So for a couple of years, like I said, I worked as an account manager, different industries, and then before that, I worked as a 911 dispatcher. I did that for about 5 years.
How'd you like that?
It was definitely an interesting job. A lot of stress, fast paced. And then we worked in shifts, so I was at work like 12 hours at a time. So it was a lot. It was a lot. But it taught me a lot of skills though about multitasking, being able to prioritize, think quickly, under pressure. So I always like to reference that job because it really set up a foundation for me in my later careers that I took on. So I've always been some type of problem solver to some degree. Now I just do it,
In this field of IT, what I love about it, it's gonna allow you to really apply the critical thinking and creativity skills.
Yep.
Help you actually expand those skills as well.
Exactly.
Because, you get to really use your style to to fit whatever it is you're working on.
Right.
Tell us though, like I know you have some of the languages that you have experience with, like Ruby on Rails, that is React, a little Java. What about Python? What about Apple Swift and Linux? What's your experience with those?
I honestly, I'm just now kind of getting into Python. I think I shared with you, one of my long-term goals is to get into machine learning, which is just a subset of artificial intelligence. So, and Python is, at least from what I know, widely used in that space. So, my experience with it is just kind of introductory. I'm just kind of digging into it, but it's similar to Ruby to me in a lot of ways. It's very readable, easy to learn. So, yeah.
I mean, that's great because me myself, I'm diving more into the artificial intelligence. A lot of my previous guests have really shined a lot of light on those areas. GPT. Going to a workshop tomorrow night downtown about it. So you're gonna learn how to create apps using that. That's another tool you need to use, for building your business.
For sure. I played around with it a little bit with some Rails code, but not to the extent I've seen others use it. I think I need to get some more experience with it, but it's definitely a really cool tool.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So tell us, what are some of your entrepreneurial ideas that you plan to use?
Yeah, so I'm currently learning and working on building my first mobile app. One that I hope to have deployed to iOS installation and Android as well. So how I plan to, I guess, monetize that eventually is to just have a business dedicated to building mobile apps. And so that's in progress, coming soon. That's the plan.
Like,
Yeah, coming
how
soon.
soon anyway? We were thinking about 23. You know,
I
fall
think
23.
that would be ambitious, but probably early next year.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We waiting. We waiting now.
Oh, listen, I am too.
We need that. But I know it's a process.
Yeah, for
So you
sure.
saying, you want all your businesses to run that too. But
Right.
I guess what's the most challenging project you worked on so far?
Oh gosh, probably the project I'm working on now. Without saying too much, um, basically we're taking our huge monolithic application, which is like one huge application, and we're taking it and modularizing it. So just I would say a souped up version of organizing code. Something that addresses privacy violations and make sure that the code being used in that particular module is supposed to live there and is not reaching across in places. So it's been requiring a lot of refactoring and figuring out how is removing this logic going to change something. And so it's been a challenge for sure.
Okay. What are some of the, I guess, like, what are like the best side projects that you recommend for learning software development? Because like there are a lot out there, but like, well, what's the best one? Because GitHub can be confusing for beginners. I tried it myself, and I had to, take a lunch break and then come back and try
Right.
it again. I was like, man, could somebody walk me through this? You get on YouTube and try to see what was going on.
Right. Sorry, I had to get my line right. Apologize about that.
Mhm.
Uh, but as far as side projects, I would say practice building things that you actually use. Like one of my first projects was an e-commerce site. So how often do we use um, how often do we use, you get on Amazon's website um, or anywhere you purchase things, Nike, and practice. So for me, I think the thing that helped me most with learning a language was to build something that I actually use every day, because then you
Yeah.
kind of get a little bit more invested in it because you're working on something that,
Yeah.
even if you're not going to use it live in production, but just to get that
Mhm.
experience of seeing
Yeah.
something from the ground up on
Because
something that
I
you would
know
actually use. Yeah.
like using Python, like we use like two or three basic projects like the calculator app,
Hmm.
tic-tac-toe. I remember like actually building the AI simulated fish tank back when I was still
Oh,
teaching.
wow.
Yeah, when I was teaching at tournament, that was so cool. I want to
That
do
is
that again.
cool.
Yeah, I still
You
have
need to
pictures
teach
of it.
me.
Yeah, I can. I really can. Yeah, we can. We get together on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool because like like it was built just like a normal fish tank. You see all the bubbles, they were coated in different colors, and the fish were just swimming by. It was so cool. I was like,
Oh,
look,
wow. Yeah, that does
yeah,
sound
like
cool.
like it had like a little 3D effect to it.
Okay, that's cool.
But my next question is gonna be really good. And you can hang out with, let's say, like two historical figures. It could be anybody such as Michelle Obama or Katherine Johnson from the movie Hidden Figures. Just for one day. Who would it be? It'd be anybody. Pick anybody.
Actually, Michelle Obama's a good one for me because, one, coming from she's living in our time, she's experiencing the world as we're experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
But two, she's another, she's a Black woman who was in a space and still is in a space that
Right.
many of us don't see. And so just to kind of tap into her mindset on, how courageous you got to be to do that, how brave you got to be, not be afraid to speak up, which
Yeah.
sometimes is
Just I always have a strong voice no matter what situation she's thrown in. I know she's human. I know she get nervous sometimes too, but
of course.
she still gets it done. And
Yeah.
for me, it would be her husband, Barack. I just thought he's just such a great guy.
Yeah.
Plus like we share the same birthday, August
Oh,
4th.
really?
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to meet both of them actually. But I said, hey man, we had to go out and play one time. Be able to meet.
Yeah, for sure.
We had to
And
have
you
oh,
share
after
some,
that.
drop some knowledge.
Yeah, man, I bet that conversation there would be whew,
Deep.
amazing. Yeah, it'd be a
Yeah.
deep conversation. Like I don't get starstruck much, but I'm pretty sure I would then.
Yeah.
Oh, I know I would.
Yeah, it would be. He seemed like he would be real cool though. Him
Yeah,
and both of them.
yeah. I'm like, man, I'm hanging with the Obamas. I can't wait. But yeah, man. So I mean, started coming in easy because I started mine this year, Right Now Networks, Right Now Radio. And
Okay.
to let you know, just continue just, moving forward, get all the documentation, the back of your needs, such as I would say your tax ID number, um, a license, bond, and anything you need to do. All right. Also too, budget is very important. Just like your personal budget, create a budget for your business. Because we think big, we think large, right?
Right.
We don't want to exceed our budget and put ourselves in some debt that we can't get out of. We never want to do
Right.
that. So I mean, like, if you had $1,000, well, I'm gonna go and say $1 million budget for your company. How would you spend it right now?
Mm,
Yeah,
that's a good question.
yeah,
Well, if it was pertaining to my mobile app business, I would probably say I would hire, be able to hire proper staff so that I could take the business where I want it to go, and
I would say that too.
a team
Oh,
that's invested in the mission and reliable, all the good things, and of course take care of them, make sure that we have all the resources that we need as a company to run efficiently,
yeah.
uh, and put a little to the side for
I would
for
say, yeah, I would definitely say hiring employees, being able to pay their salaries,
right,
um, pay for the medical, dental benefits,
all the
build-
benefits.
building our data center that I plan to build, right? Ensuring we have all the devices, all the routers, switches, servers, even our cable connection, Ethernet cables, fiber optics. That's all has to be cool in the budget too, because
Right,
that's going to cost some money.
all expensive.
Just being able to manage, like you said, have enough for supplies, paying salaries, having money saved, so we can have some cushion here.
Right, for sure. Especially in this economy.
Yeah, because you don't want to be in a situation where the ranger pours in and you just can't seem to find an umbrella. You don't want to be in that
Right,
situation.
right.
And I mean, like, what was your biggest so far in your career? What do you say is your biggest success, your biggest failure? How'd you learn from both of them?
Hmm. I would say my biggest success would be getting my first full-time software engineering role. That
Wow,
was
that's
that
a
was a
killer.
big moment. My salary increased $50,000 from the job that I left to
Wow.
come to my now current company. So, financially it put me and my family in a different place.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's a blessing. So
What were
I
you
was
doing? Hey, I mean interrupt, but what were you
yeah.
doing? What were you doing when you got your offer letter? Like, what were you doing? What were you
I,
eating?
honestly, I
Buying
was
clothes? What were you doing?
I'm my manager at the time who called me to extend the offer, had just called shortly after I got my kids off to school, and I just remember kind of being speechless for a second because
Yeah.
that I knew I wasn't the only candidate that they were looking at, and of course the imposter syndrome sits in, like, oh, was I good enough? Did I interview well?
hmm
When I was offered the role, it was a big moment.
Yeah,
Definitely exciting, and I'm still with that company, so I definitely appreciate the opportunity to be with them. But as far
absolutely.
as failure,
That's a that I mean, I
yeah,
think every offer that I got, man, I just prayed and shouted for joy.
yeah, for
Man, I'm
sure,
gonna say I think I did, and I was just like, woo, I did
right, like
it.
happy tears, all the good
Yeah,
things.
I'm like, woo, I did it. I mean, like, was it a long wait for after the interview to get the offer letter?
From the time I'll say from my first interview to the time I got the offer letter was maybe about 4 weeks, about a month.
Okay. Well, yeah.
There was several. There was like a 5-step interview process.
hmm Yeah, some additional steps. So you were wondering if you did, like you said, you did good enough. Like they gonna
Right.
call you back, and they finally did it. Yeah, and that's normally. I know we don't like waiting. That's normally a good sign.
Yeah.
That's normally a good sign though. But when it comes too quick, it really don't last. You ever notice that?
Right. That's true.
Yeah, it just yeah. That's why I say I can wait. But I guess hold on one second. Like your favorite job, we already talked about that. But like
Mhm.
before you actually started your IT career, you had your background as a dispatcher and the other jobs you have. What did you see yourself doing with your career before that?
Actually, I wanted to be in the medical field. I was going to be a pediatric neurosurgeon. That was like as a child growing up, that's what I wanted to do. But then, you know, life happens.
I would say the hard for the kids, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Life happens. Yeah. And, you know, things changed. So my career path changed, but I you know, I welcome it. I love that. I love what I do now. I love the life.
I think for me, I would still end up in the medical field. I mean, not medical, but the tech field, because I was leaning towards radio and TV broadcast before I found IT. Yeah, so I think I would have still been doing something with tech. I mean, like tell us too, like what do you recommend for everybody out there who's preparing for a big job interview? What do you recommend? Like, what's on the 3 main things they need to keep in mind to pass that big interview?
I would say number one, be authentic, be you.
Yeah.
Don't go in there trying to switch it up. Obviously, be professional, but you know, be yourself. Right. That's at the end of the day. You know, they may be looking at 10 candidates that all can do the same thing, but you know, who you are is what's going to stand out. So.
Yep.
Be authentic.
Don't try to use words that you don't normally use.
Right.
Don't just try to just use what I guess Bill Gates said. Use what you would say. So go about their problem, fixing it how you would do it. Just be professional. Right. I said, what's another thing that you would say?
I would say be confident, and I know that's really hard. It's easier to say than to do. I even struggle with that, you know, but this is your opportunity to present yourself to this company. And so if you're unsure of yourself, if you're not confident in what you're talking about, whether you're just answering the question or if it's, live coding, whatever it is, then how are they going to have that confidence in you? So you kind of demonstrate, I guess, how they can almost, look at you. If you're unsure of yourself, then maybe she's not going to be so sure of herself on the job. And, I would say fake it till you make it. Even if you come across I remember, during my interview process, my first interview, I kind of stumbled over something and completely was freaking out on the inside, but I just kept I
know what you mean. I mean,
yeah, you gotta kind of just push through.
I think one of my second or third network engineer interviews, and we started talking about troubleshooting VLANs and trunks. And at the time, I wasn't so brushed up on that. And I was just like you. I think my stomach got it nice. I was just,
yeah.
Right. Exactly. But like I say, I was trying not to show it, but just thankfully, one of the guys on the panel kind of talked me through it as we went. So that made it a lot easier. Yeah, if I had to do it by myself, I understand. I don't know how I would have made that.
Yeah. Yeah, totally understand. But I'm sure you learned a lot in that moment.
Oh, I did. And another thing I would say too, go for that job interview even if you're not sure. Yeah. Whether you get the job, it's still a learning experience.
Exactly.
I know I had a lot of people that asked me like, I'm interviewing for a software developer role, I'm interviewing for cloud engineer role, but I don't have a lot of experience. I'm still in school. I said, take the interview anyway. They want to interview for a reason anyway.
Right.
Why they pitch. So go in there, demonstrate what you already know and take this as a learning experience. Find out what skills should I be trying to learn now. You see, now you can hear from the company themselves. You hear from the recruiter and say, okay, I need to learn about, how to actually, Linux, Python, so forth.
Right.
I brush up on those languages. I learned Visual Studio Code. Okay. So now in my next interview, I'm going in with that knowledge and I know I can ask those questions a lot better.
Exactly.
Don't think of it so much being a failure, rejection. It steps to everything we do.
Exactly.
Just because it didn't happen today, it don't mean that another opportunity won't knock at your door. You can always use that one.
Right. And it's just another.
Meant for you not gonna pass you by anyway.
Always. I absolutely
never does.
I absolutely believe that.
It never does. I know sometimes we have our eyes on some things, and that's fine. You should always keep looking and exploring. But don't ever, like you said, give up. Don't ever just be
Mm-mm.
discouraged. None of that.
Don't quit. And I remember many a times in boot camp when I wanted to quit, and I just,
Yeah.
you cry about it, and then you wake up the next day and you go back to it
He
and
said, yeah,
you push through.
forget this. I'm
Right,
back.
right. I got to
I'm
finish
back.
this.
Get,
Exactly.
get out my way. But to tell us too, like, how can we find your website or business out here on the web?
I'm not out there yet, just yet, but I will be active with posting about it on my social media
Okay.
that you tag me in on your page. So
And
um,
what's the name of that
stay.
page? What's the name of that
That
page?
is tech underscore with TP,
There we go.
and yeah, I'll be posting updates there for sure. Keep you in the loop.
Okay. Okay. How about any mentors? Do you have anybody you actually lean on out here in this field?
Yeah, I have a couple mentors. For different reasons. For different reasons, I have someone that mentors me more from like a technical aspect. So as I'm trying to brush up on skills for myself, learning Python or getting
Hmm.
deeper into Rails, someone that kind of helps me kind of guide how I learn these things and take on new topics and new concepts. And then
Yep.
I have another mentor that's more from like a career perspective. What are the moves like if I want to be making out here as an engineer? What's my next move? How does it align with where I want to be, 5 years from now?
Mm.
So just keeping me focused on in that regard, making sure that the work that I'm contributing to my team is documented properly and, resumes and things like of that nature. So
Right.
really, I think it's really important to have a mentor, someone who's already been there, done that, and can
Yeah.
shed light on areas that maybe you just haven't tapped into yet,
Right.
or they can cut
Yeah.
some of that learning curve for you.
It's always great to have someone like that, help you recognize your blind spots that you may not be aware of.
Right.
Just give you continuous feedback in different ways about what you did well and also how to strengthen those weaknesses. That's
Exactly.
what it's about. And so, like, as you plan your future goals, set out within the next year, what are like some areas you plan to go into?
Well, definitely, get deeper into the mobile app development, and broaden my horizons there. Get some
Yep.
stuff published out there so people can download it. And dig deeper, like I said, get deeper in my knowledge in Python, because I do plan to get into AI hopefully within the next couple of years as well.
What
So
about what about cloud? Anybody by any chance?
I've been hearing great things about the cloud.
Trust me,
From us. Yeah, we
it,
might have to we might have to chat offline about that.
yeah, yeah,
I
it's
haven't done
lovely. It's great.
my
I
due
would tell
diligence yet.
you know what? I would say actually try to learn both Azure and
Okay.
AWS. You need to because everyone uses it. Okay, I can
Right.
tell you how the University of Miami just improved theirs with the Azure platform. I they
Okay.
expanded their cloud platform when I did their
Okay.
research department. Yep, and they actually helped them earn a high earning. Like I said, a high payout.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yep, I just read that this morning actually.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, it's cool. Also too, just dive into each area, AI, blockchain, even robotics. Don't be afraid
Yeah.
of it. For a while I thought that it was gonna replace us. So I did my research, and it's not because they can now outthink us. Okay,
Right.
they probably can get out there and move, and just like how the dance does. The dance
Right.
robot, they can do that, but they cannot steal our creativity. They can't steal human knowledge. That,
Exactly.
that though they can never take.
I agree with that.
Never.
I agree with that. Yeah,
No.
I receive it. There's so many different areas of tech that you can get into. So I believe in being a jack of all trades. So
Yeah.
yeah, you touch on
Um,
everything.
and you know what? Don't be afraid of networking. Networking is not all binary numbers. Okay.
Okay.
Once you get past the subnet, and the subnet is easy. I found I got a little cheat sheet for that, right?
Hmm.
Knows how to shoot know how many networks come in different block spaces. But I was gonna say, once you get down to the configuring and building networks, that's fun.
Okay.
That part of it right there, you be like, I like this. Yeah,
Yeah, I might have to check it out.
where it is. I'm telling you now. So you and see a lot of people have actually recruiters look for network engineers that have automation skills now. being that we use Python and Linux
Right.
on that side of the house. That's why I mentioned those a lot. And even
Okay.
even Swift. You had a chance to use Swift yet?
Not yet. No,
Yeah,
I
Swift
haven't.
is cool and it's very easy. We created boogie bots before, the dancing robots in our apps.
Yeah.
We created different memes, functional memes, the different songs we met as well. A personal meme, that's what it's called, a personal meme. And you had your shopping list. But yeah, those are good. You can add songs and pictures to your background. So we definitely gotta demonstrate some of that on the next episode. But
Okay.
yeah. But like I said, as we wrap up tonight, leave us with one piece of wisdom as we get off here.
I think we already touched on it, but I'm gonna say it again. Never quit, never give up. No matter what, no matter how bad, how ugly it gets,
Yeah.
don't quit.
Yeah.
And just keep pushing.
And you know what? On top of your app and the other website, y'all think about actually publishing, know some short books on that. It don't have to be anything long. Just say, basically kind of like a how-to guide in a way.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just like basic knowledge.
Okay, I
But,
like that.
That's something else I plan to get into. With
Okay.
networking. Yeah.
All right, cool. I think I'm gonna take that advice
Yeah.
and start jotting some stuff down.
I seen something get off here. But yep. But yeah,
All right.
I'm looking at the time again. Tell us what time is it?
It's right now, live on Rite Now Radio.
Here we go. We heading out, y'all. Wrapping up episode 20. It's still season
Episode
1.
2.
We know we've been rolling pretty deep. So this episode will be posted in the morning.
All right.
Let's see.
Peace.